Okay, so we are going to work on our foldable for unit rate today. So go ahead and look at example 1. It says 120 eggs from 20 chickens. How many eggs per chicken? So we're going to do our W, K, U and set this up this way. So go ahead and write your W, your K, and your U. Y'all are doing this with me if you're working in class. And if you're watching this from home, you can write this on a blank sheet of paper, and then when you get back to school, you can get your foldable from me and get it put in your notebook. Okay, so our W stands for our words. So we know that 120 eggs from 20 chickens. So our words is going to be eggs over chickens. So go ahead and write that down. Eggs over chickens is the ratio. That's our words, what we know. Alright, so what does it tell us? How many eggs do we have and how many chickens? So 120 eggs, good. So 120 is going to be set equal to my eggs. And how many chickens do I have? 20 chickens, good. So we want to know how many eggs per chicken. So when it says per chicken, we're talking about per how many chicken? 1, right? So with unit rate, unit means 1. Like, per unit, if I want to know the unit price of something, I want to know what I'm paying per 1 unit. So this whole time that we do unit rates, this whole week, our denominator is going to be a 1 because unit means 1, okay? We want to know how many per 1 chicken, so we're going to put the 1 on the bottom with my chickens. All right, so now we're going to solve for our unknown right here. So you're just going to look at this. How are you getting from 20 to 1? What are you dividing by? 20 divided by 20, just you're dividing by itself, right? 20 divided by 20 is 1. So you're going to do the same thing to the top. 120 divided by 20. So whenever you work that out, 120 divided by 20 is 6. So your answer is 6 eggs per chicken. And all I did was say 120 divided by 20. And I get 6. So here's my answer to the first part. How many eggs per chicken? So now the second part says, how many eggs from 8 chickens? So if I know that 1 chicken gives me 6 eggs, how can I figure out how many eggs I'm going to get from 8 chickens? Miracle? Very good. All you have to do is say 6 times 8. So yes, 6 times 8 is 48. You can just quickly multiply 6 times 8 is 48. I'm going to go ahead and write this out, my WKU again. I'm going to have my E for eggs over C for chickens. I know that 6 eggs for 1 chicken. I want to know how many eggs for 8 chickens. So 1 times 8 is 8, so 6 times 8 is 48. So 48 eggs. And on that one, you didn't even have to set it up because if you know that 6 times 8 is 48, so that was easy. All right, let's look at example 2. $55 for 20 people, how much per person? So this is like a dinner or something. So go ahead and write your W for words, your K for your known, and your U for your unknown. So our words is going to be money over what? People, good. And I'm just going to put the $sign. That's okay if you want to do that. Just so we know what it is. Money over people. What is our known? What does it tell us? Good. 55 over what? 20. How much per person? So per 1 person. Again, unit rate. So we're going to put a 1 down there. That's our denominator. 1 person. So how do I get from 20 to 1? What do I do? Divide by 20. So I'm going to do the same thing to the top. 55 divided by 20. Now this one does not go in evenly. And I'm going to tell you the answer. It's $2.75. But you have to think, we're talking about money. So it's $2.75 per what? Per person. Good. So $2.75 per person. So when you work that out and you said 55 divided by 20, you get 2.75, which means $2.75 per person. So now we're going to have to figure out how many for 6 people. So if I know one person costs $2.75, how do I find out how much 6 people cost? Just times it by 6. So I'm just going to put $2.75 times 6. I know it's been a minute, but let's work this out. 6 times 5, 30. 6 times 7, 42 plus 3, 45. Carry my 4. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 4, 16. Now remember, when we're multiplying with a decimal, we count how many place values we have behind that decimal. So 1, 2. So I'm going to move my decimal 2 places to the left right here. So my answer is $16.50. Very good. So on every one of these, all you're going to do is you're going to find the cost per one. Once you find that unit cost per person or per item, whatever it is, then you multiply by whatever it's asking. Alright, last example. 250 miles in 4 hours. How many miles per hour? So per 1 hour. So let's write our WKU. So what is our words? What are we looking at this time? Good. Miles over hours. Very good. Miles and hours. And I just abbreviated. Miles over hour. Alright, so what is our known ratio? What does it tell us? What do we know? Good. In 250 miles, we go 4 hours. We want to know how many miles we're going to go in 1 hour. So you have to ask yourself, how do I get from 4 to 1? What am I doing? I'm dividing by 4. Good. So I'm going to divide my top number by 4. This one is also a decimal. So this one you get 62.5 miles. Whenever you say 250 divided by 4, you get 62.5. Okay, so now that we know we're going to go 62.5 miles in 1 hour, how do we figure out how many we're going to go in 7 hours? Multiply it by what? 7. That's all we got to do. So 62.5 times 7. 7 times 5. Good. Carry your 3. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 3. 6 times 7, 42. Plus good, 43. And then where does our decimal go? There's 1 place value behind it. Very good, between the 7 and 5. So my answer is 437 and a half, what? Miles. Good.